CBS News legal analyst Jack Ford is with us now. He joins us. I thought that was interesting. Whit said the range from burglary to first-degree murder. I remember, Jack, this case very, very well because it was the details were so devastating to hear about this young woman. How difficult do you think it is to get an impartial jury when there have been so many details about the case?
What's interesting about it, Gail, it's a small community. Charlottesville is a very small community,
right.
Lovely area down there, small circuit court. But people don't realize that most people think, well, if you know something about a case, you're disqualified.
Yeah.
That's not true. You could have followed the case, you could have watched it here, you could have followed it on the internet, as long as you can say to a judge and to the lawyers, I know something about it, but I haven't made up my mind yet. I'm willing to listen to both sides before I make a decision here. Then you can qualify as an impartial juror.
What interests me is in most cases, when you hear jurors talk about it, when there's been a difficult case, they sound very reasonable and took their job very seriously.
They do. You know, I tried a couple of dozen murder cases as a prosecutor and defense attorney, and one of the things I can tell you, jurors work very hard at doing the right job.
What do you think the defense strategy will be here?
You know, the defense is interesting. They're looking at this. Prosecution, you know, has a shot not only at murder one, but felony murder, which actually gets you into the murder one category, and it's easier to prove. The defense is looking at this, and they're saying, well, we're going to challenge the cause of death. They've suggested that she was taking some medication, might have been drinking, and it might have had something to do with the death. You know, if I'm the defense attorney, what I'm really hoping for here is I can get jurors off of the murder category down into a manslaughter category. Manslaughter means essentially the death was accidental when you were engaged in something that might have been unlawful or reckless. You know, the classic situation is you're playing with a gun, you don't realize it's loaded, it goes off, shoots your friend. I think the defense is probably going to try to argue here, he didn't mean to hurt her, didn't mean to kill her, it happened accidentally, and as a consequence they're hoping, because manslaughter is 10 years maximum as opposed to life in prison, which you'd be looking at either with murder one or a felony murder.
And as horrible as it is, it also made a difference on campus violence, particularly in this campus and other campuses around, because friends reported, listen, she was in an abusive relationship.
People are paying attention.
Now people are speaking up.
They pay attention. I had a daughter who was a lacrosse player in college. Fortunately, never had any of these problems. But, you know, kids looked at these things differently. Now I think they're paying more attention to that notion.
Thank you, Jack. We'll be following.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Good.